I'm Dan Edelstein, a documentary filmmaker, and by happy coincidence, a vodka brand owner. These two parts of my life have now become entwined.
You know, when you have the world's most valuable brand didn't exist 11 years ago, you know that the brand landscape is no longer about the people with loads of cash who've been doing it for decades. You know, you can create incredibly successful brands overnight.
I would love to come away, like for me and Hill, to keep 70% of the company.
It's a very easy one for both Jeremy, my business partner, and I to get heavily involved in, financially and emotionally, in order to actually take this as our horse, if you like, in this particular field of business. 30%, I'm not getting too excited.
I'm making a film about the big events of the 20th century, my family history, and my attempts to become a vodka baron. The story began in late 2006, when I was rummaging in the attic of my mum's house and found a manuscript belonging to my grandmother, Marusia Zorokovich. I was raised on the legend of Marusia and her husband, my grandfather, Max Edelstein. She'd come from a wealthy Jewish family in Ukraine. They had huge lands and a sugar factory. But when the Russian Revolution came in 1917, they lost everything.
The peasants followed me through the house, silently with bent heads like penitents. I wandered from one sacked room to another, stopping on the threshold to catch my breath and stepping carefully, for I feared to hurt the mutilated body of our old house, and I did not want to show my agony to the brutes which followed me.
I was sucked into her dark, sparkling world. History had come alive and I jumped right in.
The handful of men to whom no one had paid any attention was growing into a powerful party. Lenin, their chief, had thrown to the dark, demoralized masses his firebrand slogan, "Loot what has been looted from you."
Without further ado, I cast my wife Hilary as Marusia, and I set about making a film about my family history. After dance class, the first job was to audition a group of menacing-looking Bolsheviks. Of course, like many documentary filmmakers the world over, we had no money at all to make such an ambitious film. However, thanks to Ukraine International Airlines, we managed to arrive there in some style. But where did fact and fiction meet? What was real and what was imagined? We'd been in Ukraine for 3 weeks, but still not found this village. But then, one day,
this is it.
It all changed.
This is where the sugar factory is. There'll be some buildings around it. It's probably completely changed.
Father had always been an active dreamer, and Dubovaya Zovka was the work of his life. When he inherited grandfather's 7,000 acres, they did not yield anything but mortgages. He had transformed the sleepy, stagnant place into a prosperous centre through industrialisation and patient cooperation with the peasants.
After 3 weeks of searching, I'd found Marusia's sugar factory, or so it appeared. But tragically, the place was in ruin, closed in 2002.
Если бы нашелся бы такой человек, мы были очень благодарны.
Okay, the truth is, to be honest, I kind of felt myself, I was walking down the middle of the road, and everyone who looked at me was sort of, whenever the guy told them the story, everyone was looking at me as if, so he's come back, he's going to take the place over again and produce sugar, and we'll all have a job, you know, and I felt there was some kind of respect. So then I felt myself walking around the place like a baron, you know. I was a bit disappointed that I couldn't get into my own factory. And those feelings were kind of like slightly comical, because I never really thought that I was going to behave like Lord of the Manor.
As it turned out, I need not have pondered too too deeply over the fate of the sugar factory. The very next day, a new twist was going to reveal itself.
Зараховичу, это не было Зараховича, да?
Зараховича вот.
Спиртзавод.
Да.
We'll find him in the school.
Це кандид.
Obviously, I was eager to see the distillery, but my guide, the intrepid Sergei, insisted that it would be a huge slight to turn down Yuri in his offer of a small drink in the village shop.
What's he saying?
With the vodka, because we're going to... He was the owner of alcohol factory.
Oh, yeah.
You see, it's very meaningful.
Oh my god, put the whole thing here, is it?
Yuri confirmed that my great-grandfather owned the spirits distillery at the other end of the village. Weirdly and wonderfully, the thing was still open, despite having been expropriated by the Bolsheviks in 1917. Obviously, I was eager to see it, but first we had to get through that whole bottle of vodka.
Very nice. That's Very nice.
Eventually, and with great professionalism, we headed off to complete our working day.
Hopefully this guy won't invite us in for a vodka.
By the time we got there, though, everyone was gone,
Ask him if
apart from the guard, and he wouldn't let us in.
It feels fantastic to be in this, to be in the factory. I mean, like...
Running round an ancient distillery owned by your ancestors is quite a kick.
It's a lovely little village, you know. It's got a really nice feel to it. And it's such a shame if the whole place is poverty-stricken. I'm going to be pulled down, gradually dying because of the death of the sugar factory. I can feel it. It feels like a sad place, you know. It needs some investment.
The vision of re-establishing the family business was born.
No?
This time, it would be a social enterprise, connecting a forgotten village in northeastern Ukraine to a potent international vodka market. Bingo. More jobs, schools, healthcare and housing. I thought starting a vodka business couldn't be the hardest thing in the world. After all, if great-grandfather Ilya had done it years before, it must be in the blood. And even if it wasn't, I still had plenty of Yuri's vodka coursing through my veins, and it gave me the courage to try.
I like vodka, personally. I really like it, but, mainly at night, you know. Ah, Ilya. Yeah. Great-grandfather. Jeremy. And hi, Ilya. How are you?
I'm very well, yes.
Please join us on our mission to re-establish Ilya's vodka empire and our attempts to try and stimulate the local economy and to try and increase the production levels of spirit and vodka in this village. Thank you very much. I'm going to add more to it, yeah? But that's fine, that's enough. Then I can do voiceover. That should be enough.